Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am so sorry that there has not been a video put out. We had actually filmed one because we were filming the Montreal Jazz Festival. Unfortunately, there's some politics involved with how we can release footage and what footage we can release because we've got some kind of famous people, I guess, that are in the video. So that video will hopefully be coming soon, but today we're here in beautiful Brock, Vegas, and we are going to be shooting for BROCKVILLE Tourism office. So we're going to show you a little bit behind the scenes of how we're going to shoot all these micro content pieces for website and social media. So let's get into it. So it's been a couple days since we've actually been out on the shoot. We're back here in the studio. We've offloaded all the footage. We're doing all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm gonna sit here and chat with you guys today a little bit about a recap on how the days went and why we did what we did. Oops. We're late. You ready? And our first location was at St. Lawrence Park. This was a mid-morning shoot, so the light was already getting a little bit harsh. So we needed to get a little bit creative with angles so that we didn't have light bouncing directly into our lens. Especially on a rushed shoot, most of the time the actors and actresses aren't fully prepped. Thankfully, these guys were really chill and easy to work with. We basically ran around and they went with the flow throughout the entire day. So this type of shoot is more of a run and gun shoot. And for those of you guys who are just starting out in video, run and gun means that we're basically running around with less equipment because we don't need overcomplicated lighting setups, big gimbals. So if it doesn't fit inside of our backpack, then we pretty much don't take it with us. We moved on to Centene Park, and at Centene Park there was a ship coming down the river, and so I really wanted to capture somebody or multiple people jumping off the boardwalk while the ship was moving across in the background. Okay, we're racing the ship. Other talent's supposed to be here in 15 minutes. Ship will be gone by then for sure. So we're gonna go ahead. Originally, I used a wide-angle lens because I wanted to capture the depth of the river. But when I threw on the lens and tried the first shot, it was a little bit too wide and the ship looked extremely small. So in order to pull that ship a little bit closer to our subject, we switched over to a 55mm lens and got a shot that looks something like this. Moving on to the BROCKVILLE Tunnel, which has recently been one of our biggest tourist attractions here in our hometown. It's the first underground railway tunnel in Canada, so we were able to get some fun shots just of a mother and son looking up in awe at some of the cool spots that are in the tunnel. And then we also tried to integrate the fun for the children with the loud music and the fun train sounds, etc., and having our child subject dance around in the tunnel as well. We moved on to a little bit more with the food and beverage up at Thousand Islands Brewery, and of course, in a tourism shoot, food and beverage is always an important aspect. So when we showed up, we went on the outdoor patio and we got there, everybody sat down, we got them out at multiple tables. When we're shooting that, it just looked extremely awkward and empty and didn't look like people were enjoying themselves in full. So we quickly ordered a bunch of different appetizers and a few beverages and put them out on the tables, and pretty much immediately it made the shoot look a lot more full and like an actual event was happening. And the best part is that we actually did get some lunch out of it. It's a win-win situation. Next up is the Brockville Museum, and thankfully I had just actually shot another video here at the Brockville Museum, so I already knew a little bit about the lighting, the exposure, the sound, all those fun things you have to worry about when you're shooting videos. So I lined up our subjects in a lot of the same areas we had previously shot in because I knew the lighting and audio was half decent. We jumped back in the car quick and headed over to Thousand Islands Cruises, which again, we had done a lot of video for in the past. So we actually had a lot of the content we needed, but we didn't necessarily have a lot of people lining up getting ready for the ship. So we got there right as one of the tours was coming in, and we were actually just a little bit late. Sorry, Captain Andy. And we quickly staged everybody. We got them out in a line, grabbed a few quick shots, and that was pretty much all we needed for the day. Moving on to day 2, starting earlier in the morning, we jumped over to the AQUATARIUM. So we were able to jump in, grab some of the interactive map games, grab the otters, the beavers, the fish, all those kind of fun things. And then some of the employees took us out on the ropes course to get some shots that dangles up above the whole AQUATARIUM. This included a bunch of different obstacles between 2 little ships and a bunch of other little obstacles in the middle that you're latched onto like a zip line. And then towards the end of it all, there's the aqua jump, which everybody participated in, and some people even conquered their fears of heights and made the jump as well. Moving on to Mac Johnson, where we're going to showcase a little bit about the hiking and a little more of the lovey-dovey shots with one of the couples that we had with us. Mac Johnson is somewhat of a near and dear place in my heart. It was where I had my first alcoholic beverage, my first skate, and my first breakup. I guess it's a versatile location. Out in the middle of nowhere, we're at Mac Johnson, getting a bunch of hiking filming shots, and then we are off to a couple different farms. Apple picking farm, some pumpkin picking farms. So as I kind of talked about earlier, sometimes you want to show where some of the food is locally sourced from, and TINCAP Berry Farm is one of the coolest spots to go and pick your own strawberries, blueberries, all that kind of stuff in season. And since we're getting into the fall, they also have a pretty cool pumpkin patch. Then we got some people shopping inside the TINCAP Farm Market. The pumpkin patch was quite a bit further out than we had anticipated to walk to, and we had to get one of the actors back in time into Brockville, so thankfully Steph ran back to the car and drove out to the pumpkin patch so we could get home quicker.
You're welcome, boss.
Great hairs in here. Alright, we got Thomas in the back with us. Mark my words now. You're gonna see them on a screen someday.
Oh, but
I called
you're
it
gonna see
here.
us together on a screen.
2021.
Is this the vlog?
Yeah.
Guys, I love vlogging. What I have to say to the vlog is you guys need to continue to support Mitchell, because soon enough, you're gonna see his videos all over. You know those Logan Paul friggin' kids? Yeah, well, they're no match for this guy, so you better watch out.
I won't say probably that. I won't agree with that.
I do.
But thank you, I always appreciate it.
Okay, where are we off to, Mitch?
Okay, so this morning we filmed the AQUATARIUM. We are just finishing up at Mac Johnson, TINCAP Berry Farm. Now we gotta run to Hull's Apple Orchard, busted into town to get some cyclists, filming them. Dropping off Thomas right now quickly because Thomas did us a big favor last minute to get out here and help us model.
You're a model now.
Yeah, I'm model.
Add it to the resume. Moving on, we went to Hull's Apple Orchard, which was another kind of locally sourced food and beverage place. And at Hull's, everybody loves going there in the fall because it's one of those purchase your own little bag to go pick your apples. Okay, we're at Hull's Apple Orchard. Look at all these apples. This isn't stealing if we eat one of these, right? Steph and I hadn't eaten all day, so we decided to run back quickly to the house before our final location. Then we headed out to the Parkway, and we had 2 cyclists who were gracious enough to come and join us. And I was shooting everything on my FX6, but for those of you who know what the Sony FX6 is, it does not have internal stabilization. So what we decided to do was I jumped on the one wheel and kept the camera nice and close to my chest while also having my right hand on the camera and left hand under the lens, which gave a little more stabilization as we were moving. If you want to see less of the camera movement, we shoot at higher frame rates, whether that's 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. And as long as the subject is still moving at a half-decent pace, then you're able to capture natural motion blur and the subject doesn't look like they're going too slow. We took out the drone and started from a really high angle with the camera pointed down, and as we moved into the subject, we lifted up the camera so that the bridge and the river were in focus as the cyclist came zooming through. Then we moved back with the bikes to one of the lookouts where you can see Chimney Island and Singer Castle. And fun fact about Chimney Island is that's where I proposed to my wife, and that video is somewhere down in my YouTube channel as well, so you can check that out. So right as we got those final kind of lookout shots, it unfortunately started to rain. They were just biking back to their house along the Parkway. So Steph actually drove and I jumped in the back seat with the FX6 just to grab a few more shots of keeping pace with the cyclist with the camera so we could get some nice little quick cut edits in there as well. The more footage you shoot, the better, because you can always cut it in post-production. Thanks to Brockville Tourism for hiring us for this project. It's always a lot of fun doing tourism shoots because you get to see a lot of cool things that sometimes you don't even know are available in your own city. And thanks guys for following along on this 2-day shoot with Brockville Tourism. And of course I will always appreciate a like and subscribe down below. And please, I want to provide as much value as possible for you guys, so if you have any comments and questions that you guys want to learn or know more about, feel free to shoot a comment down below. See you in the next video. Cut!